Let's go outside. It's so long since we've been deep in the woods with the fat lad. We need to step away from the screens. Go pack a bag, whip up some lunch. You need a break from the wife's flatulence. You've been too long inside, you're about to buzz. Just let us out and let us dream and go wherever we want with extra cream. All the way to the top, and you know we won't stop as the penny drop. You gotta step away from the screens.
What up, party people? Bit of a different video from me today. Basically, as you know, I was after some opinions on some self-supporting tents for my up and coming, and the good people at Collins Outdoors said, do you know what, try these two tents out. I'm not a tent man, I much prefer a hammock and a tarp or just a tarp setup. So what I thought, I need to see which one suits me best. I'm going to whack them up, might as well film it, you know, something to do, innit? Anyway, the two tents in question. I've got the Naturehike Cloud Peak 2. That is coming in with a 20D top and bottom, which has got a 400, no it hasn't, it's got a 4,000mm hydrostatic head. Pretty roomy, you'll see it up in a bit. Against the Naturehike Star River 2. This has also got a 20D top and bottom and a 4,000mm hydrostatic head. So we'll get off straight away. I'll do something I don't normally do, and we'll test the weights first. Because it's got to go on the back of my bike, weight means a lot. So, the Star River. That is coming in fully with everything. That is pegs, poles, mat and lines, as well as the tent, at 2.1 kilograms. Not too bad. And then we have the Cloud Peak 2, which is the bigger tent, I believe. I haven't put them up yet. Coming in at 2.5 kilos. So, you know, probably about just under a pound difference in them, or near as damn it, half a kilo. What I'll do, I'll set them up individually. I'll stop when we get to certain points, show you what I think of them. I've never set these up before. I don't know a thing about them. As I said, I'm not a tent guy. So you're going to see the first attempt of me setting them up, how easy it is, etc, etc. This is in my hand. I'll do that one first. Not going to be in any rush. Right, it's got a nice little strap on it. This isn't a review, by the way. Please bear in mind, I didn't pay for these either. I was given them. I'm just going to give you an overview of my first impressions opening them up. Not a review. I'm guessing the mat will go down first. Nice big footprint. Aluminium poled tent. Don't do instructions, you know, because I'm a real man. Luckily, that looks to be three poles, as near as damn it, of even size. Undo the strap. Open her out. First thing I see is that the inner mesh attaches to the outer mesh, which I like because it means you can put it all up in one hit. So if it is hoying down with rain, yeah, you don't get too wet. So on each corner there appears to be grommets and just clips. So what I shall do, I will pop that through there like so. Don't know if this is right or wrong. And then I'm presuming that these must just clip up. That look right? We will soon find out, won't we? Plenty of planes about today. Right, what have I got here? Well, that, I've got to say, was very easy to put up. What else we got in here? Then you've got your top cover. Is there a specific way that goes? Don't look like it. Let's have a little look-see. So then, so far, for what I need it for, as a self-supporting tent, I can't see many places I would have to guy out. Those must just look onto there or through that. Works fine. So, if need be, looking at it, I can set her up like so, 2 doors, and yeah, I don't need to peg her out. Now there are areas such as this, to peg out to give it a bit of rigidity. That doesn't look like a bad tent at all, and it looks like a reasonable size. I'll give you a quick ping round, and we'll have a look inside her, shall we? Right then, so as you can see, you've got quite a large vestibule there, so you can cook inside her. I'll jump in there in a minute so you can see how much room I've got. I am Mr. Standard, 5'9" and a fag butt, average weight, average height. They give you loads of pegs for the outside, and as you can see, with a little bit of pegging out, that has really tightened her up. The one thing I'm not overly keen on, sorry, that is wrong. This is just a comment I would notice. If you look at the vestibule area when you've got the door open, if the door on the other side opened the opposite way, if the wind were to change, you'd be covered on both sides. You could just open up the other door and cook on the other side. As it is, they're both facing the same way. Not a big problem, because obviously you pitch where you need to pitch. Another thing I not a fan of, just another point, the door when you open it rolls up at the bottom. Not a big issue, but if it is hammering down, the ground is wet, and that door flaps over, it's going to get wet. Another minor thing. If you're careful when you're using it and roll it up inside the tent, obviously it's not a problem. I do like the colour, I'm a fan of green. You could definitely cook in that vestibule. Another thing I do like, which a lot of people don't, I know I am an abnormal so-and-so when it comes to that, the footprint fits the tent perfectly, leaving the outside just ground. Now what people say is, obviously that can then get wet, but what people don't take into account, and the reason why I like tarp camping so much, if you've been walking all day and your bag is pee wet through, if you put it on the ground, that all then drips and runs down into the ground and not back into your tent or create puddles where you're kipping. I'm going to put you on the deck and we'll see what she's like when I climb in her. So, plenty of headroom. I've probably got, let's have a look, about 4 inches above my head at 5'9". I'll bring you in a moment to show you around. Lovely mesh pocket there, one there, no. Any on the ground sheet, one at that end. Nice bathtub floor. You've probably got 3 inches of bathtub floor. I actually like the size of that pocket. It's a 4-season tent, so halfway up it's covered in nylon and then mesh all the way round. You've got a good clearance between fly sheet and mesh as well, which is good. And all in all, yeah, Scoose feet, plenty big enough for me to lay down. Yeah, you could fit 2 people in her, it would be snug. Obviously you could definitely fit 1 person and kit. 3/4 of a Gemma Collins. Yeah, it's of a decent size. all double stitched. There's nothing jumping out. Once again, not a review, just a first look at this thing. If it's pants, I'm going to tell you it's pants, but this does look like it would do a good job. The bit around the doors elasticated to keep it nice and tight, and you've got Velcro there to Velcro the storm flaps shut. Do like the word flaps. Nice and airy. I've got both doors open. I've definitely got room here to cook if need be. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So far, so good, Naturehike. And thank you, Collins Outdoors, for sponsoring me trip. Got your normal hooks and stuff. Yeah, I'm all happy. Looks all seam sealed. It is all seam sealed. The good thing I like about darker colour tents is that obviously when the sun comes up in the morning, you're not immediately torch lit up. So this is me inside, look, loads of room. That's that pocket I was telling you about. And you've got your normal pockets down the end. Happy days, that. You want to see me lay down again, didn't you? I know. Oodles of space. You can jump out both sides. Lovely job. It's bloody hot today. I can feel the sweat already kicking in. There's a first look at the Naturehike Cloud Peak 2. I'm now going to go and set up the other bad boy, the Star River 2. Again, not even taking it out of its bag yet. We'll have a look, won't we? One thing to notice with these tents, they are not drone proof. I've had it out the bag for 10 minutes and I've crashed my drone into the netting. Oh, a little bit of tape, you're golden, or whatever. Glue it up, nail polish, whatever. My fault, not the tent's fault. The tent's fine. I flew a drone into the bleeding thing. I flew a drone into my tent. So exactly the same situation here. I've never put her up before. We see how it goes. I'm guessing you start off with the mat. Bleeding aeroplanes about today. It's all the rich folk on the Isle of Wight, the aeroplanes. Now, straight away I've noticed on this one, you have got clips and eyelets rather than the little hook system. Hook system works fine, but let's see what those clips and eyelets are for. Got the same strap on there, a decent sized bag, pegs and that separate, and on this one the fly screen and the tent itself are in different bags. Let's just lay that down. 2 doors, which is good to see, and again that fits the footprint perfectly, which is good. So I'm guessing it will be a similar thing with the poles. Again, aluminium poles, this time red. So then, you have got one set that is a different colour. So I'm guessing that will tell you what is front, what is back. You've got what looks to be a spacer in the middle on a metal, I'm going to use a technical terminology here, sorry if you can't keep up, but you know I'm in the game, whirligig. So I'm guessing that must hold the tent up. So if that holds the tent up, I'm going to say it's best to have it uppermost, to make sure it is nice and taut. Could be wrong, let me know in description. I don't mind being wrong, because when people tell you you're wrong, you're not wrong anymore. Right, let's have a little look here. So, that's red, and that's grey. Perfect. What it does do, the connections on the front and back are a different colour. So your little tabs, where your clips are, you've got grey ones on the back, and you've got red ones on the front to coincide with said poles. Pop you in there. This is where it all goes Pete Tong, because I'm a ham-fisted sperdoofer. Now, I'm not generally a fan of inner skin first tents, purely because if it's raining, the inside of your tent's getting wet. But, you know, let's have a look here. Right, in here you've got a piece of cord, I'll show you, bring you in a bit later, with a little pocket, which must be for that. Tell you what, I'll do as I say and flip that round the top. And another one up there, getting my lips into play. So it'll make it easier if I attach that central clip, eh? Well, she's certainly not hard to put together, even with my stumble thumbs. It's just the twist clips again. Nice and easy. One thing I will say is that is nice and taut already. And again, yeah, I'm happy that that footprint is exactly the same size. Forgive me, just had a bug fly up my snout, which is not surprising because I've got a big nose. Right. I'll bring you in and just show you the setup here quick before I move on and put the outer skin on. So here we go. Again, bathtub floor, exactly the same size as the base of the tent. As you can see there, red tags on the front which coincide with the red poles. There's the whirligig I was talking about. Hope I've got it the right way round. It would appear so. I didn't have to really put stress on it to put her up. And there's the other colour on the other end. Note the clips, so I'll be guessing that the rainfly must just clip on. First thing you notice with this, you've got two doors again, and there is definitely a head and a foot end. The red end is higher than the silver end, so yeah, there is a way around that you actually sit in this. Good, good. I better put the other thing on. What's it called? Fly sheet, that's what it's called. Whirligig and fly sheet. So what I'll do is have a little look to see if there's any indicators, and there are. Same again with the clips. You definitely have a front and a back. So I'll take the two clips over and clip that in there. Tell you what else I've noticed as well, those clips are also on the ground sheet, which means, could be mistaken, that you could just use it as a tarp with a ground sheet and not put the inner up. So if you're wanting to go uber lightweight, that's an option. I like the way that the what they called the poles are in a little sock, so it's stand less chance of damaging your fly sheet. Again, nice and easy. So basically, even Johnny could put this tent up without help. Maybe not completely without help. What I will do is clip that onto the actual ground sheet, because should you need to pick it up and move it as a whole, if that isn't done, I would say just like that, that ground sheet could quite easily come away from the bottom. She looks fairly sturdy, which is good. Let's peg out the doors. Now straight away I'm noticing that you can tie out either side of these doors. Which, going back to my point on that tent, I've just dropped my microphone, hope you're still working. Going back to my point on that one, you could adjust to which way the wind's blowing, which is a good thing. Both of these tents are supplied with the MSR mini ground stake type thingies, knockoffs, not originals obviously. I normally change them out on all my other tents for the longer ones, purely because longer is better. Now, when I'm actually out and about, the one downside this is going to have over the cloud peak is the fact I do actually have to peg out the doors themselves. Which in normal everyday use is not a problem at all. But if I end up having to doss in a car park, it could be an issue. Right, I'll open her up and bring you in for a squiz. How about that? Cow son. The thing to notice here as well, the storm flap is on the inside with Velcro, unless I've put that on inside out, which I'm pretty sure I haven't. Of course I bleeding haven't, Lee. Even you ain't that thick. I'll do that door. That one. So I will do this door the other way. What I do like about the Velcro on the inside, if you were to have a zip failure, at least you can still shut your doors to a fashion. Yep, exactly that. What I thought. What we got here. Oh, that's pretty good. You've got a little clip that clips to the bathtub, so when you do guy out at the front, although that looks like it's been... Have I put that on inside out? I have. I actually have. That just goes to show what a plank I am. I'm not going to show me redoing it, but for one, I've just noticed the Naturehike logo back the front. Yeah, I've put it on inside out. Not good. You don't need to see me changing it. What I was going to say, and I'll bring you in on the walk round, you've got a little clip here which pulls out the bathtub, and then you can peg that out, separating the inner and outer skin. Give me 2 seconds and I'll flip that round. So then, that genuinely took all of, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute to flip over with the clips and stuff. Really not a problem. So as you can see, the way I've set her up, the wind is blowing this way. I can close that door up, not a problem. Or I can peg out the other side, and this way I'm sheltered for the wind coming in that way. I say you could quite easily peg them doors out how you want them, which is something that you can't do with the cloud peak. Ventilation, obviously the cloud peak, you've got all of that area above with ventilation coming in and through. You've got the area at the front there and a much bigger mesh area, I believe. I'll sit you down and I will climb in there so you get a sort of idea of room. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show you. So here, where you're pegged out, if you look underneath, forgive wobbly camera, that clips onto that and actually pulls that out. The one thing I would, in fact it doesn't need it, I wouldn't mind a central pull out on the bathtub, but it doesn't appear to need it, so I'll keep my mouth shut, eh? I prefer the green in colour rather than this. I'm not sure what other colours they do. Click on the link, go and have a look. But all in all, vestibule, certainly big enough to cook in. As you can see by the distance that comes out, probably lend itself more to gas than meths, just in case, because no one likes to wake up, you know, on fire. I'm going to jump in. Again, 4 to 6 inches above my head. You've got side mesh pockets there, none down the foot end. That is definitely the foot end, as I said earlier, and a big corner mesh pocket here, which I like. That is good. I like it a lot. And your little torch clip. Let's have a little lay down. Bloody airplanes. This is definitely longer, but narrower. Having said that, you could definitely get 2 people and kit, person and a dog, or 3/4 Gemma Collins in here. You've definitely got more room lengthwise. The sides do come in at more of an angle, but I would actually say that is a little bit wider as well, you know. Look at the specs. I don't know anyone that picks a tent out with a tape measure. You've actually got to get inside and feel it, ain't you? I'll bring you in. So, as you can see, I'm sitting up, plenty of room. There's that pocket I was telling you about. Another one down there, another one over there. That's nowhere near me. I'm actually really liking this tent, but it has now raised a few issues, because one reason, sorry it's a bit stuffy in there, one reason I wanted a self-supporting tent is because I don't know where I'm going to end up camping on my upcoming trip, and the idea is self-supporting. Even if it's a car park in Asda, I could put one up in the corner, which this does absolutely perfectly. But it's half a kilo heavier. It's the right colour, good quality, easy to put up, but it's half a kilo heavier. That has a bit of a nicer feeling about it, but I need at least 2 pegs to make them vestibules work, which, yeah, might be an issue. Might be an issue. So I'm going to need your help again, peeps. What What do you reckon? Comment down below, which one would you prefer to take? Be carrying it on a bike, so the half a kilo, what's that, half a litre of fuel. These aeroplanes are doing my nutting today. I like that, I really like that, other than the colour and the fact it does require at least 2 pegs. Decisions. Anyhow, there you go, 2 nature hike tents. Star River 2, Cloud Peak 2. I'm impressed with both of them. That is coming from a person that his least favourite way of camping is tents. But I'd hazard a guess to say they're no slower to put up or anything than a trekking pole tent. And I like me trekking pole tents. Obviously they're heavier, but then you've got to factor in the weight of the trekking pole. All those poles are already together. You've got 3 separate poles to go there. And I can imagine that top cowl, if it's a bit windy when you're taking it down, you might lose it. And there's another bleeding plane. I'm torn. I'm proper torn. What do you reckon? Answer in the description. Not that anyone's going to watch it. Who's going to want to watch some bloke talking about tents?